All right, friends, I couldn't be more tickled to have in studio with us the wonderful, the magnificent, the kind of adorable Mark Lindquist.
Thank you for that. I appreciate it. See, but you can say that on the radio because they have no idea what I look like.
That's exactly why I said it. It's great. Mark, you and I go way back. Is that fair to say?
I would say it's back in the day.
Yeah, back in the day.
Which was a Wednesday.
So, Mark, you're from Ortonville, Minnesota. I'm from Fargo, North Dakota. But in high school, we were in Key Club together, a high school community service organization, correct?
That's how we met. And I think it's appropriate with what you're doing today and making an impact in people's lives that is how we met back 15 years ago.
Well, thanks for that, because right now you're doing the same. You're making an impact and you're changing the world one speaking engagement or singing deal or book at a time. Is that how you say it?
That's how we're doing it. You know, I'm a motivational speaker, an author, an entertainer, and you know, I'm not necessarily the best at those things, the best in the world, but it's the best I have to give. So we impact lives through our keynote speeches, you know, through my singing and entertainment, and we're just having a blast.
So I said to you off air, Mark, I want you to sing the national anthem for us this morning, and you gave me this look like it's early in the morning and I haven't prepared my voice and I'm not ready.
See, for a singer, you know, if I want to sing at a presentable level for the public, we can't do that before 9 a.m. It can't be done.
I understand that completely. That's a great point. But you have a great history of singing the national anthem, correct?
Yeah, well, you know, it all started in the booming metropolis of Ortonville, singing for about 8 people at the football games. And
nice.
7 of those were parents, and you know. but started singing there, and I just got this idea that, you know, this was my favorite song to sing. So you know, done it as a hobby throughout the years, and certainly sang the national anthem for military ceremonies all over the world, retirements and promotions and such. And then it all happened in 2010, and I was out on the set of Universal Studios Battleship. And I filmed with them for about 21 days or so, and some folks that I've known that I've done some acting over the years. And it just so happened that we were filming on 9/11 of 2010. Oh, wow. And I realized that my name was on the call sheet, and I asked one of the producers if they were going to honor the day with, you know, maybe a patriotic song or the national anthem. And so, long story short, I got to sing for Universal Studios cast and crew, and Rihanna was there, and Liam Neeson was over my right shoulder, and Sports Illustrated swimsuit cover model Brooklyn Decker is a few feet away from me. And,
yeah, right? That's all right. Yeah.
I'll do that again. Thank you.
No more, though. That's it.
So, I got to sing for Universal Studios, and I just got to thinking that, man, this is something that I love to offer audiences, you know, and I think sing the national anthem traditionally in the way it should be sung, no frills, and so I just started seeking more opportunities to do that, and it's been a fun run.
And so you sang at the season opener for the Vikings last year.
Home opener for the Vikings.
You are the main go-to national anthem singer for the UND hockey team.
Yes, honored to be the full-time national anthem singer for every game at the Ralph this last season.
And so how many people have you sung for now in the last couple of years?
This last year, in 2014, we had the good fortune to perform live for over 500,000 people.
Oh my gosh.
Which is awesome.
Jeez Louise. In studio again with us, Mark Lindquist, entertainer, entrepreneur, motivational speaker, and a great dude. Mr. Lindquist, you find yourself now doing public speaking, and we said maybe our affiliation and the thing that draws us to one another is we're here to make a difference. I certainly am. Through my real estate career, I get a chance to speak a smidge, but not like you do. So you get a chance to do keynotes, whether it be to businesses or schools or other things. What do you talk about? What are you passionate about?
You know, a lot of people ask us that. You know, they hear I'm a motivational speaker. The first thing they say is, well, what do you say?
Right.
And we really have 3 topics. It's passion and finding your passion, finding the thing that you love. And we're helping people lead lives that are going to be able to be involved in the thing that they love, maybe full-time someday. So passion, leadership, of course. And, you know, I've been in the military and traveled all over the world with them and John Maxwell certified presenter with his program.
And so I didn't know that. That's great.
Yeah, I teach some of his concepts. So passion, leadership, and then of course, as we've talked, service.
Yeah.
And we wrote a book called Service My Way of Life, and we're just out there to try to help or encourage people to serve and volunteer and give back to their communities at a greater level. So it's a really great gig out on the road, giving keynotes and inspiring people.
Mark, you're a difference maker, and for people who are listening right now, I want them to have an opportunity to reach out and connect with you. What's the best way if somebody who owns a company or is in charge of putting on a client event, or if they're trying to engage their audience? You're one of the most captivating speakers, entertainers that I know, and you're local, which is so special too. So how can people connect with you? What's the best way that they can reach out?
Just check out our website. It's www.breathisLimited.com. BREATH islimited.com. And you'll see all kinds of videos that we've done over the years. You can check out samples of our keynotes, and a lot of times people will say that they're very generous, and they say that Mark was the best hour of our conference.
That's great.
So thank you so much for that.
Well, Mark, I think that you have a final opportunity, and there's something that we've spoken of, and it's almost like a weekend retreat of a sort that you're trying to put together, right? I bet there's a business out there right now who's listening and says, I want to engage my group for an entire couple of days, and they can reach out to you for that. Is that correct?
Absolutely. So we really want people to come in and for more than just an hour-long keynote. I want to be able to impact people for maybe 2 days or so, and come onto a hotel conference room, and we're going to give you everything that we've got.
Yeah.
We'll bring every idea that we have to change your life and bring it to the next level. But then we'll also bring some other speakers to the podium, and so you can get a variety.
Absolutely.
Maybe you'll be able to relate to another speaker better than me. So we're excited about our 2-day Change Your Life seminar.
I love it. Mark Lindquist, Breath is Limited. People should go to breathislimited.com and check it out. But in the meantime, also head to livefargomoorhead.com. Take a look at the houses on today's market. And thank you, Mr. Mark Lindquist. You are a gift, and I'm glad to have you in my life. Stick around. We'll be right back after the break. This is Real Estate Radio with Erik Hatch. Delighted to have first-time real estate guest in the studio with us, and a good friend to boot, Mr. Nick Tidd of Polar Insulation. Good morning, Nick.
Good morning, Eric. It's great to be here. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, you got it, Nick. You are a lifelong Fargoan, right? Is that fair to say?
Yeah.
Tell me about life growing up, because when people hear the name Tidd, they always think of your mom, right?
They do, yeah.
Who's your family? What's your legacy here in town?
Yeah, my mom is Nancy Tidd, teacher at Fargo North. My father, Ron, and we grew up in North Fargo, and excited to be a Spartan.
Yeah,
and,
absolutely.
I graduated high school, moved out, but couldn't resist and came back, and now we're here to plant a family. So
you moved to the fun, good, laid-back life in Colorado, correct?
We did, yeah.
Yeah, and then you said, well, I got those rebellious young years out of my system, and I'm done being a snowbird, right?
Yep, that's correct. And Fargo is just a place for family, friends, and best of all, opportunities. So.
Now, Nick, you are the younger brother of one of my closest friends, and so I got to watch you grow up a little bit, and you always had this dynamic work ethic that blew your brother away, and he's probably listening right now thinking,
love you, Casey.
But yeah, that's right. You've blown every person away that I've known of work ethic. You've always worked harder, longer, and smarter to boot. Is that a fair assessment?
Do the best I can, yeah. Yep.
A little bit of humble pie, but for somebody who knows you, I've always been immaculately impressed with the way in which you work and the way in which you focus on giving back and making a profound difference and doing quality work to boot. So,
thank you.
Yeah. So now, what are you doing with your life?
Yep, we have an insulation company.
Okay.
We've been in business for about 2.5 years now.
All right.
Doing mostly new construction, small commercial, and existing homes as well.
So you're just, if I understand insulation correctly, it's itchy, it is lighter than it looks, and it's something that I don't know how to deal with. So if I was an avid installer like you, I'd have all this great information. But if I'm a Joe Blow who doesn't know much about construction, is insulation something I could or should do myself?
You certainly can. It's always best to contact a qualified professional because there's many steps to take to do it properly.
Okay.
With that said, anyone's able to do it. Specifically, what we want to do before we insulate is air seal. Most people are familiar with cans of foam you can buy off the shelf. The biggest mode of heat loss is through air movement. So anytime we can stop air movement, that's where we start.
Okay.
So.
Again, in studio with us, Nick Tidd of Polar Insulation, and we're talking the sexy, alluring topic of insulation today. But realistically, it is imperatively important for people's houses, isn't it?
Absolutely, without question, in our climate. Yep.
So the risk is insulation is just keeping the cold away, right?
It's keeping the cold away, it's keeping the heat in, and then on the flip side, in the summertime, we're doing the same thing. So.
That was always an anomaly to me. I always thought insulation was just keeping the cold out. But realistically, if you don't have great insulation, even your summers are going to be miserable in your house.
Correct. Yep, we keep you warm in the winter and cool in the summer.
Great.
Yeah.
So what's the risk, Nick, if somebody doesn't have proper insulation? What are the things that can happen not only to their energy bill, but more importantly to their house?
Yeah, everyone's concerned about energy and cost savings. I specifically more concern myself with mold and structural integrity of your building envelope.
So tell me more about mold. If there's not the right insulation, somebody's going to get mold?
Yep, without proper insulation or attic ventilation. We have ventilation and air sealing, they work hand in hand. We can create moisture if we don't have a proper system in place, and that moisture will allow for mold growth.
That's the do-it-yourself nightmare, isn't it? If I understand this correctly?
A little bit, correct. Yep, yep.
So a lot of people will want to save a few extra bucks and maybe do it themselves, but realistically they're setting themselves up for maybe, if they don't do all the right steps and protect and seal, they're going to set themselves up for maybe a mold nightmare.
Yep, you're right. And we, a lot of insulation applications are done improperly with the right concept in mind, and unfortunately we end up going and fixing those just because the proper steps weren't taken in order.
That's why I'm not a do-it-yourself guy, Nick, I always know that it's not only going to be frustrating and time-consuming for me and expensive when I first do it, then I have to call you anyways.
Yep.
When it's all said and done. It's I think the same oftentimes if somebody's trying to sell their house on their own. The allure is I can maybe make more money, I can get more cash, I can have this opportunity to keep some extra things in my pocket. But,
Yep.
Man, just put your business in the hands of a professional, right?
Absolutely, yep.
So, I bet if somebody wants to actually have you come out, it's going to cost an arm and a leg. Is that a fair assessment?
For us to do the insulation job?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Because it'll pay dividends in the long run.
Okay.
It'll pay on your comfort of your home, the air quality, and then on top of your energy savings.
Yeah. Well, and in addition to all that, you're not that expensive.
We're not.
I mean, because you get things at wholesale where we have to buy them at retail. And that's a first savings. And the way I've seen you work as well, Nick, you are ultra fast at what you do. So your projects aren't taking you 6 days to do.
Yep. Nope. We try to be as fast and efficient as possible, knowing that you're on a time schedule as well. And we get in and get out. We do our job well. We're very clean in what we do. So
I like that clean word. Nick, last but not least, I want to talk spray foam for just a quick second.
Yeah.
It's kind of the new thing, isn't it?
It's becoming so. It's been around for many years. It's becoming the new thing because of energy codes. In the benefits of spray foam.
Okay, so the benefits of spray foam energy codes, it's obviously going to do a better job of maintaining a longer life of insulation. If you look at old attics, you see insulation just start to have gravity sink in, right?
Yeah.
And it sinks and sinks. Is that the case with spray foam?
No, spray foam doesn't settle at all, and to drive the fact home, most insulations don't settle. Fiberglass won't settle on you over time. So. But what happens, spray foam is a complete system itself. Fiberglass applications rely on a number of variables such as venting, air sealing, so on and so forth, done properly, where spray foam is a sprayed in place liquid form once and done system. So the benefits of it are you have an air sealing and a vapor barrier in one system on top of the structural integrity that it provides for your home. It's really a fantastic product.
I love it. Nick, I want people to call you and get a free quote. I want your business Rolodex to be filled with people who are wanting to put their trust in you. So Polar Insulation, Nick Tidd, how can they get in touch with you? What's your phone number?
701-799-1404.
799-1404. That's it. Nick Tidd with Polar Insulation. Thanks for coming in, my friend.
Thank you so much, Hatch.
You bet. And hey, we're going to come right back after the break with a lot more real estate radio. Thanks so very much for tuning in. And during the break, head to livefargomoorhead.com to find out what your home is worth. This is Real Estate Radio with Erik Hatch. In studio with us is one of my favorite people on earth, and she is just delighted to be here. If you can see her face right now, she is exquisitely smiling. It's the beautiful Shannon Simon with Floor to Ceiling. How are you, Shannon?
Good morning, Erik. I'm good today. Thanks for having me back. I'm happy to be here.
Absolutely. Hey, new gig, Floor to Ceiling. You've been doing interior design for a while, but you've landed at this wonderful company. Tell me all about it.
It is a wonderful company. They really do everything from floors to ceiling, and then everything in
clever
between.
Name. Clever name. I see what they did there.
Yeah, it's great. It's been a wonderful transition in there. Great people to work with, great products to sell, so it's a whole package.
So if I were to stop into Floor to Ceiling, and by the way, where is it located?
We are on the I-29 frontage road, 360 36th Street South in Fargo.
Okay, so right between Main Avenue and 13th on the
Exactly.
frontage road.
Yes.
If I were to stop in and if I walked in and said, I need to see Shannon, what in the world would you do for me when I showed up?
I would come and greet you with a smile, and then we'd get started on what you're looking for. We have flooring products, we have Hunter Douglas blinds, lots of cabinets that can fit anywhere from a laundry room to a kitchen to a bathroom and kind of any other space that you might want some cabinets. Can help with some paint selections. We don't sell paint, but can help you put the whole project together with your colors.
Oh, nice. And you have an exquisite eye for detail, Shannon. In fact, a lot of the choices that my wife and I made in our own personal home, you came and helped us with in terms of finishing touches and tying things together. So you are in good hands if you go and visit Shannon. But Shannon, I want to talk trends right now. Things that are happening in the market. We've seen wood choices go from, I'd say, the 90s and 2000s and the early on from oak to then it's moved to birch, then it moved to alder and a darker stain. What are you seeing now in terms of stain color and color choices for kitchens and bathrooms?
The gray trend is still really hot. Gray is a neutral color. We don't see it going away anytime soon. Using the alder as your wood species in your cabinets and trim is still a great option because it takes color so well, and especially all of the gray tones. Still seeing a lot of the dark espresso for color choices, but also a lot more of the grays, like a battleship gray, light grays, dark grays. Our favorite color at Floor to Ceiling right now is pumice, which is kind of an in-between gray and brown.
Isn't that the thing that my wife uses to like scrape off the calluses on her feet?
We try to think of it more as a really pretty color on your cabinets.
So you take with the color of pumice. Explain that to me because I'm just going to dig myself a deep hole if my wife is listening.
Yes, so you can use a pumice stone in a couple of different ways, but using it as a color on a cabinet is a beautiful neutral color. It's a light gray with kind of some tan undertones.
Okay, in studio with us again, Shannon Simon of Floor to Ceiling, and we're talking about trends right now. Sounds like gray is it.
Gray is it.
And dark is still there. What about white? Because I still hear a lot of people saying, I want white cabinets. I want to go with something that's a clean, fresh look.
White painted cabinets are still a really great option. Those probably won't go, I mean, they're not going to go out of style anytime soon. Seeing a lot more maybe making a little bit more creamier, like more of the French vanilla or a creamy white instead of a really stark bright white. That's another way to kind of keep it neutral and keep it lasting a lot longer in your space.
So people are even like antiquing some of these cabinets, right? Like they'll take, instead of white, they're going to go with an off-white or a cream, right? And
Yes.
then they're going to give it a bit of a rustic look with some low lights.
Absolutely. Just like you do in your hair, you can do it to your cabinet doors.
Wow,
That
we're talking about a
rustic
full
trend.
body makeover right now. Pumice stones and hair dye so far. We're off to a great start.
It all comes together. Your style shows everything from what you wear to what's in your house.
I love it. Now, Shannon, if I came to you and I had some ideas, is there an expense for us to talk at Floor to Ceiling for you to give us some ideas, or is it just an expense if we actually hire you to come to our house or hire you to fit up our place?
Correct. We do offer some design services, and then you pay when you purchase the products.
So we can get some free stuff if we want.
Oh, well, we'll talk when you come in.
You're going to be in so much trouble with the owners in your mouth. No, not at all. I've been to Floor to Ceiling, and boy, you have a huge selection there, wouldn't you say?
We do. Like I said, there's everything from solid hardwood floors to laminate floors, sheet vinyl floors, lots of carpet, enough carpet to make you wander all day long, and then some really great displays to show you ways that we can use our products in kitchens.
So, final tip, Shannon, if you could give one piece of advice to folks that are listening, and if they could do one little spruce up tip, maybe on their own or for a low cost, to make their house shine and give it a new feel, a new pop, a new wow, what would you suggest that they do?
I think countertops are something that get overlooked quite often. Whether you just replace the countertops in your kitchen or maybe the top in your bathroom vanity, you might not be able to replace the whole cabinet, but by changing that countertop, it's going to really freshen it up and give you a good look. You can do a laminate countertop, fairly inexpensive, all the way up to something granite to really make it shine.
Awesome. Shannon, we're going to have you stick around. You have been a superstar in my life for a long time now, not only as a friend and not only as somebody who I trust in the industry, but heck, you're a client now too.
I am.
We're going to talk about that after the break of your exciting go. Again, Floor to Ceiling, what is the address if people want to come and see you?
Great. 360 36th Street South in Fargo, and our phone number 237-6601.
Shannon Simon with Floor to Ceiling. We're going to have you stick around after the break, but in the meantime, go to livefargomoorhead.com, check out what your home is worth, and view a few beautiful properties on the market. This is Real Estate Radio with Erik Hatch.